All right, welcome back. Episode 8 of the Redeem Team podcast. It's been a while. Body's a little thinner, hair's a little longer, and Casey's a little sexier. I'm just kidding. Today we're going to be talking about top 50 NBA players and some latter half season predictions post what we gave a long time ago. I know it's been a while since we had our first episode.
It's been a minute.
Or last episode. But I'm working, doing stuff behind the scenes, big stuff to be coming soon.
Thank you for your patience, by the way.
Yeah, thanks for the patience. We've had some people ask, and I've had a bunch of people ask when the new episodes are coming out, and that means a lot more than y'all could understand, knowing that people are anticipating episodes to be coming out.
Definitely.
But there is stuff upon the horizon. I can promise that. But yeah, so we are going to do our top 50 to start out, and then we could just hop into our predictions. Do you want to go like...
We can do like 10-10.
10-10?
10-10.
All right, you go ahead. And,
you want me
here,
to
we'll break them down by... We'll go fives.
You want to go fives?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
can't process 10.
I don't think y'all are quite ready for my list. It's been a few months since y'all
just
heard my voice.
Just as a precursor, he gave his list with injuries included, right?
For the most part.
Yeah.
I did for some players, but others, they were playing so well that I kind of just brushed it off.
Yeah. My list is without taking injuries into considerations. I'm just doing it strictly as a player. Just as a forewarning, though, Klay Thompson's not on this list.
He's not on my list
Just
either.
felt that was fair because we haven't seen him play in so long. But if he wasn't, he'd be in probably the 10 to 20 range.
We're a little rusty, so before we get into it, please leave a like. It goes a long way. Every like you give is another person's YouTube that we're popping up on. So Please give us a like, share if you can. Just keep supporting. It was very heartwarming seeing how many people were asking, oh, when's your next episode, bro? You guys haven't done it in a minute. What happened? I didn't realize how many people actually paid attention. So
yeah,
thank you all so much. We really do appreciate you.
But with all that being said, all the mushy-gushy stuff out of the way, we'll go ahead and we'll go by fives. So you go.
You really want... Okay, I'll start. Please, if my phone blows up, I'm muting all of you. Number 1 of the 2020-21 season, Nikola Jokic. Yeah. I wanted to put LeBron there so badly, but you can't ignore Jokic's year. He's just playing so out of his mind. I don't think anyone's better this year. And then...
Well, I mean, it's him as the front runner for an MVP. I mean, I get the case. But, I mean, his offensive output this season has been, insane. It's been so much better than everybody else's, just comparably, analytically. Even watching him is insane.
Number 2, Joel Embiid.
All right.
And then I got LeBron at number 3. So he didn't slide that far. He really didn't slide that far. And honestly, Embiid would probably be 1.
And you're just going off based off on how they've been playing.
I'm going off of this season.
Okay.
Not anything else, just how they're playing this year. 4, James Harden.
That's fair.
And then 5, Giannis.
That's doubly as fair.
Yeah.
I think.
Equally as fair? Is that the right way to put it?
All right. My number 1, LeBron James. Number 2 is KD. Number 3 is Kawhi. Number 4 is Giannis. And number 5 is Damian Lillard.
Let's go! I didn't even have Dame in my top 5. This man just got way higher up on the best friend list after that. Let's go.
I'm doing my list based off what I think their current status is as a whole. Not more so just off recent play. If it was recent play, I know this is going to hurt to hear, but Steph would be number 1.
Dame has not been playing well recently. I I'd be silly to not admit that he's not been playing good.
Yeah, well, so I did mine more so based off a total, I guess, culmination of things, just strictly as a player. But yeah, I have LeBron at 1, KD at 2, Kawhi 3, Giannis 4, and Damian 5. Yes, I have Damian above Steph, and do not come in the comments talking about, oh, you're a casual. Oh, you don't know what you're watching.
Y'all the casuals.
Look, I get the way Steph has been playing is insane, and I also know how bad the Warriors are when he doesn't play. And it's not like I'm saying Dame is tremendously better. Honestly, it's a 1A, 1B thing for me.
I agree.
It's extremely interchangeable. But just me looking at the seasons as a whole, I think Steph has had a better offensive season if we're talking about who's putting up the crazier numbers, whose like game is flashier, but I think Dame's game impacts winning more and it is more important in more important places.
And he just controls the game. Like if you watch, he plays at his own pace and makes everyone else catch up to him.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks volumes over, like, that's not going to show up in the stat sheet, you know.
Yeah. Right.
You can go to 10.
All right. At number 6, I have Steph Curry. At number 7, I have Nikola Jokic. 8, James Harden. 9, Luka Doncic. 10, Anthony Davis.
Okay. I feel like anyone that would make a list would have the same people in their top 10.
Yeah, I
switched around.
Like I said, Dame and Steph are interchangeable for me. You could put Steph above Dame and Dame above Steph. It doesn't really matter at this point. I think that they're both playing on the same level. It's just a game-to-game thing, and it's hard to argue who's better than who. Yeah, I feel like it's really just a preference at this point.
Yeah.
Nikola Jokic, obviously, there's no denying how crazy he's been offensively. He's averaging like 28, 12, and 8.
Well, you got him at 8, you said? 7, 8?
7, yeah.
Bro, I have him at 1.
Yeah, if we're doing an MVP ladder, I have him at 1.
Yeah.
But Jokic is, I mean, the reason he's not higher up is because the guys above him, I feel like, are so much more important to their franchises than Jokic.
Yeah,
not saying that
fair.
Jokic isn't important to the Nuggets, because he obviously is. But the Lakers didn't start out slow.
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn was on fire when KD was playing hot. When he was playing.
Yeah, like the 5 games.
The Clippers haven't started off slow. The Bucks started off slow, but they didn't start off as slow as the Nuggets.
Yeah, the Nuggets started off really slow, and now they're rolling.
Yeah.
They're rolling now.
Yeah. But honestly, I think that Jamal Murray being out kind of hurts Jokic's MVP case, just depending on how much they win with him not playing.
Yeah, definitely. If they're not in that 4 spot,
it's going to be hard for them to consider. It's going to be really tough. And that's another thing about the MVP thing. I get everybody wants Steph to be in the running for the MVP.
They're at the 9 seed, aren't they?
Yeah,
like,
they're
you just
the 9.
can't.
Look, I don't even think Russ should have won his MVP. And I get that's a hot take, but I think that what MVP means for me is, like, obviously who has the craziest statistical season, but the season that Russ won MVP, I think James was also averaging like 30 and 11.
It was just because of the triple doubles.
And the Rockets were winning way more. But yeah, I mean, I get he won the MVP because of the triple doubles, and obviously all the power to him. The triple double is Russell Westbrook's thing now. He's more so associated with that than
and now triple doubles really don't mean as much because he's gotten so many. It's
that's kind of the problem. I say problem. Problem's probably the wrong word, but like we get so used to somebody doing something that's so impressive that it becomes like it's happened with LeBron. It happens with Steph. It happens with Dame. It happens with these players who put up these crazy numbers, that we see these crazy numbers so often, and then that becomes the normality.
Yeah.
And then when it gets put up again, we're like, oh, another one. When in actual, like Russell Westbrook the other day almost had like a 20, and 10 game.
I saw that.
Like, that's crazy. Like, that's not like
That's not normal.
That's not something you just look at and be like, eh. But it is now because of how often he puts up those triple doubles. Didn't he have like a 35, 20, and 15 game earlier this season? Against Charlotte?
I feel like I did see something about that, but I wouldn't be able to confirm it.
I think it was against Charlotte. But that stuff's nuts. But yeah. Anyway,
we're going to 10.
That's what Jokic. It's just hard to deny how good he's been offensively. James Harden and Jokic for me are also interchangeable because James Harden came to Brooklyn and changed the entire culture.
I think they went
which
11,
is something I
11
saw.
and 1 in their first 12 games with him.
Something I don't like in sports is when people are like, I told you that was going to happen. Because, obviously nobody knows what's going to happen. But, everybody was like, James is going to go to Brooklyn and they're just not going to pass the ball. And it's James has been one of the premier passers in this league. Just because he averages 30 a game, which was the Rockets' play style, doesn't mean he was one of the more talented passers.
It's because people hear the word, isolation, and they think that means they're just taking shots the whole time. But it just means that he's breaking it down on his own. There's no ball movement. He's still dishing it out to people. He's getting 15 assist games. There's maybe 5 guys in the league that can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Then Luka at 9, who's been slightly less important than James Harden has. The Mavs I think over the past month are 22 and 8. Which would be one of the league's best. They started off really slow. That's also why he's lower on this list. He came into the game. He came in this season. He just looked like he was out of shape.
He was. He admitted it.
Yeah,
he said he was out of shape.
Anthony Davis at 10.
Okay.
It's just kind of hard to put him above everybody else, but it's hard to put him below because he's just we just know how good he is.
Yeah. Mine's pretty similar. Oh, you're going to hate me. You're going to hate me when I get past 10. You're going to be so mad.
If Lou Dort's is out of the top 15, I'm going to be pissed off, and you know it.
All right, so 6, Kawhi. Cool.
Yeah.
7, Dame. 8, Luka. 9, Anthony Davis. 10, Steph Curry. And I feel like I could switch Steph and AD because Anthony Davis hasn't really been playing that much, and he just didn't seem like Anthony Davis when the season started, you know?
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and slide up Steph to 9. But we already broke him down, so I'm a rapid fire 11 through 20 for you.
All right.
11 KD.
Holy Jesus, dude.
Yeah, you didn't even realize I didn't say his name yet.
Wait, time out. Read the top 10 again, and then read me Kevin Durant sitting at number 11.
Jokic, Embiid, LeBron, Harden, Giannis, Kawhi, Dame, Luka, Steph, AD, then KD.
KD's not better than 10 of those guys? Or 9 of
So
those
you
guys?
have him at 2?
Yeah.
He just hasn't been playing enough, man. He's played
fair.
20 games in the past 2 seasons.
That's fair.
So I
given the way you're setting up your list. That's fair.
12, Jason Tatum.
Above Jimmy Butler?
Yeah. I got a few people above Jimmy Butler still.
Oh, Lord.
12, Jason Tatum. 13, Paul George. 14, Kyrie. 15, Jimmy Butler.
Oh, my God.
16, Ben Simmons. 17, Bradley Beal. 18, Devin Booker.
Oh, no. I'm about to have a heart attack.
19, Zion.
That's fair. I have him at 19.
20, Chris Paul.
You're a little higher on Chris Paul than I am.
They're the 2 seed. That's him. That's all Chris Paul.
The Suns went 8-0 in the bubble.
Okay,
but obviously the Chris Paul effect is there. 11 for me is Joel Embiid. 12 for me is Jimmy Butler. I'm sick of the Jimmy Butler disrespect.
But he's 15th in the league for me, bro. I feel like that's fair. All right.
It's Jimmy Buckets.
All right. I respect his
Captain,
game, so
call
I'm
it
not
how
going to
it
argue
is.
it. I like how he plays.
13, Kyrie. 14, Jason Tatum. 15, Devin Booker.
I'm at 18. That's only 3 spots.
16 Paul George. How dare you have Paul George be better than
He plays defense.
Devin Booker?
He plays defense. Devin Booker couldn't spell defense.
Devin Booker's a league average defender. Might I
Okay,
correct
Paul
you?
George is elite.
Yeah. Paul George hits the side of the backboard.
Okay, what?
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Shout out Paul George.
Playoff P.
16 Paul George, 17 Ben Simmons,
Very
18 Bradley Beal, 19 Zion, and 20 I have Bam Adebayo.
Okay, so we're not even far off each other. You're making it like I'm
Well,
out of the ballpark.
No, your
with some of
rankings
these.
are just like there's just something. Obviously, there's something I wouldn't do because.
So would you rather have Jimmy Butler or Kyrie?
I'd rather have Jimmy Butler.
Really?
Yeah. To make it
okay, if Kyrie's not being a little baby and sitting out games for no reason, you still take Jimmy Butler?
Yeah.
I mean, I have him at 14-15, so they're basically the same.
I don't think Jimmy Butler's better offensively, obviously.
No, there's
but
not a lot of people.
There's a lot more aspects that go into it as to why I choose Jimmy. Kyrie didn't make that Brooklyn team great.
No.
Jimmy made that Heat team
Kyrie's
great.
the third best player on that Brooklyn team.
Jimmy made that Heat team what it is.
That's fair.
Jimmy's the soul of that team, the captain on defense, the captain on offense. He's just like he's basically what LeBron does, but more honest in the media about what their status is as a player.
Yeah.
As players.
I can't really argue that. I like Jimmy Butler.
Did you have Paul George above Jason Tatum? No, right?
No. I had him one behind.
Yeah, I have Devin Booker ahead of Paul George just because maybe that's biased, but Devin Booker plays exactly like Kobe Bryant. Like, it's insane.
I think Jason Tatum plays more like Kobe than Devin Booker does because he literally trained with Kobe.
Well, so did Devin Booker, but the reason I'm talking about in terms of like Devin Booker's 6'5", 6'6",
Yeah.
floats around 205. Kobe was around that height, that weight.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum does a lot of Jason Tatum is like the new school version of Kobe Bryant. I feel like
Yeah,
a lot of side steps, a lot of tween isos.
Just happens to be 6'10".
Yeah, Devin Booker I feel like is what Kobe Bryant would be in today's league, just less athletic
and less defense.
Yeah, I'm talking strictly
that's
offensively.
Fair. Yeah, no, that's completely fair.
Paul George for me is below D Book just because. I watched that game earlier this season where D-Book and Paul George kind of got into it. And D-Book heated up after that, and Paul George did not. And that's a big deal for me. Maybe I'm putting too much weight into it, but...
No, that's a big part. That's why I speak so highly of Dame, because he turns it up when he needs to, and there's some players that just can't do that.
And then, obviously, I had Ben Simmons at 17. I'm sick of the Ben Simmons disrespect. Don't care that he cannot shoot. Don't care.
Oh, me neither. But he's nice.
Insane on defense. Like he.
I agree.
There's really not much that I can say that hasn't been said. He's like just watching him he's DPOY.
What did you have him ranked again? I had him 16.
I had 17.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's cool.
18. I have Bradley Beal. Yeah, I have Ben Simmons over Bradley Beal. Big fucking whoop-de-doo. Yes, I know Bradley Beal scores 30 a game. Yes.
On a bad team,
on a bad team, yeah, but
like he wasn't putting up 30 when John Wall was
insane.
there.
The way he's scoring is still insanely impressive, but he just doesn't provide anything for you defensively, and his playmaking is like average. But Ben Simmons is just better, and what Ben Simmons does defensively and then offensively in terms of playmaking and leading an offense is more impressive to me than Bradley Beal's scoring.
I agree.
Zion at 19.
He's just gonna keep moving up.
Like if Steve Van Gundy knew how to coach, the Pelicans would be such a dangerous team. But Steve Van Gundy is so terrible and defensively. Like he thinks it's still like 2009, and he thinks that Steven Adams is prime 3 DPOY Dwight Howard. He's obsessed with matchups and somebody sticking to somebody, and that's just not how today's game is going to work. But Zion going left is a top 3 unguardable players on the planet.
I was going to say that's like one of the most unstoppable things I think I've ever seen. So,
And now he's playmaking. Stan's kind of giving him the.
I think once he gets better at that, he's gonna be a top 5 player.
Yeah. Did I say Steve Van Gundy?
You've been saying Steve Van Gundy.
It's 100% Stan, isn't it?
It is. I didn't want to be that guy,
Fuck both of them.
For the sake of sounding like we know basketball, I feel like I should have corrected you, but
who cares? He's terrible. His first name doesn't even deserve to be right when I'm speaking it right now.
You just wanna.
But yeah, him at 19, I feel like that's justified. And then Bam Adebayo, he kind of basically does what Zion does for the Heat offensively. Mm-hmm. He's their big man. Bam's a better rebounder. He makes. He's good off the pick and roll. Mm-hmm. They run ISO plays for him. They let him run the offense a little bit.
He just hit a game winner tonight.
He did just hit a game winner tonight. But yeah, I mean that's a big step up for Bam. But I'm really high. I have a really big bias towards two-way guys.
I do too, because defense is big. Like the way the league is now, people only care about offense. So like when I'm talking to someone about who's good and who isn't, or like who's better and who's not better, like they don't take defense into account whatsoever.
Yeah, I know.
And it's so frustrating.
Yeah, but I just value being able to go both ways highly, which is why I have Jimmy Butler so high. But yeah, going 21 through 30. 21, I have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. 22, I have Chris Paul. 23,
this guy has him above Chris Paul, bro.
He's a better player.
No, he's not.
Yes, he does.
No, he's not.
He's a better player. If you put Shai...
So is that why...
If Shai's running that Phoenix offense, they're the same team.
So is that why when Chris Paul was in OKC last year with the same people...
Not the same people.
Basically the same people. Okay, I don't want to hear it. Chris Paul is the only reason OKC made the playoffs last year. He's the
main reason.
No, he's the only reason.
No, he's the main reason.
No.
Yeah,
only.
He's the main reason.
I'd say Lou Dort had a bigger impact on y'all making the playoffs than Shai did.
Okay. That's just not correct. 21, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. 22, Chris Paul. 23, Trae Young. 24, Zach LaVine. 25, Donovan Mitchell. 26, Jaylen Brown. 27, Drew Holiday. 28, Karl Anthony Towns. 29, Jamal Murray. 30, John Morant. I'll explain to you why I have Shai so high. Shai's averaging 24, 5, and like 7, right? 50, 40,
Great numbers.
50,
Great numbers.
50, 40, 80. Was leading the league in pass deflections.
That's Robert Covington now.
Shot contests. And his like perimeter defensive percentages were insane. Right?
He's a good player.
I'm not contesting that Shai is a better leader than Chris Paul. I'm not contesting. Because
that's not even a conversation.
Yeah, if this was a leader thing, it would be LeBron, Chris Paul, and then there would be no more list. But Chris Paul obviously is the better leader. He probably brings more to your team. But I'm talking about in terms of who checks more boxes, it's Shai.
At this point in their careers, I can't really disagree because Shai is only getting better and he's still really young.
That's why I have him so high. That's also why I have him above dudes like Trae Young and Zach LaVine and Donovan Mitchell.
He's on my list, but the fact that they don't win...
Well, and they also have... As a Thunder fan, I'm going to be as non-biased as possible here. We have the worst roster in the league.
Y'all have G League guys.
Want to know our starting 5 today? Teo Maledon.
Okay, I don't even know who that is, so go for it.
Teo Maledon, Lou Dort, Darius Bazley, Isaiah Roby, and I think Alexei Pokusevski or Moses Brown.
So 4 10-day contract players.
Poku, I love you. Alexei Pokusevski.
He's not good.
He's actually pretty good. He was in the G League 2 weeks ago. Moses Brown just got signed on an NBA contract from the G League 3 weeks ago. He
had a 2020 game, though.
Yeah, well, he's our only big man. Like, he's it. Or our only rebounding big man, anyway. Isaiah Roby, this is basically his rookie year because last year he was hurt. Lou Dort, I love him, obviously. Great top 3 defender in my eyes.
Except he
And
had,
maybe biased.
47, 44?
The other day, yeah, he had 44.
He had 44?
Mhm.
Yeah, and then he threw his shoulder out from shooting it so much. He missed the next game.
And then Teo Maladone. So, rookie, second-year guy on a technicality. Darius Baisley, second-year guy. Our roster average age is like 26, and it's only that high because Al Horford is still on our roster, and he's like 77.
He is old. He is up there.
And he's sitting for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I don't understand that, really.
Well, I mean, we're trying to get a higher draft pick, but...
But what's the, like, I get this draft coming up is very deep. It's a very deep draft.
They're trying to harbor his contract so they can just let him walk, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But,
I don't see the point in tanking.
So,
though,
before Shea got hurt, OKC and Golden State had the same record.
Well, Golden State's not much of a team either.
Yeah, but
they have better players.
Okay, exactly. Shea or Steph?
According to you, Shea.
No. Steph's number 6. Shea's 21. Would I rather have Shea? Yes. Is Steph better? Yes. Easily. It's not even close. But I'm a big Shea fan.
This man's going to talk about the Thunder all day, so I'm going to just get into my list because he's just going to keep going.
But, yeah, anyway. Shea side. Trae Young at 23.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. He puts up a lot of points. Big OU guy. Oklahoma to the day I die.
He's not the reason they're winning, though.
He's so bad defensively.
Mm-hmm. He's really not the reason at all why they're winning games.
They're a much better team than they were last year. And they've gone on a good hot
they're
streak.
at the 4 seed.
And Nate McMillan should have been their head coach from the start of the season.
The fact that they considered him an interim head coach is so disrespectful.
So disrespectful. 24, Zach LaVine. He's made a massive jump. What he does offensively is so impressive. Mm-hmm. But I would rather have Trae Young's passing. That's just me.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Zach LaVine's, I think he's averaging 50, 40, 85 splits. He's shot the ball insanely well. Donovan Mitchell behind him. And I love Donovan Mitchell, but I feel like I'm not as high on Donovan Mitchell as I am as most people are. A lot of people
wait till you see where Rudy Gobert is on my list.
Rudy Gobert's lower.
Well, yeah, obviously, but wait till you see how mad I disrespect him because he's just so lame. There's nothing cool about Rudy Gobert.
But yeah, Donovan to me, he's obviously a top 25 guy, but he's some nights he's so wildly inefficient, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
And it gets shadowed because of how deep Utah is.
Yeah.
To have 20 points a game coming off your bench just like that, and Jordan Clarkson shooting 47% from the field, that's insane.
Yeah. Then
you have Bogan Bogdanovic, Rudy Gobert, obviously, Royce O'Neal, George Niang, Mike Conley, Joe Ingles. That team, that was just the first 8 guys. Those are all borderline starting caliber guys.
Well, right now, Jordan Clarkson's first on the Sixth Man of the Year tracker. Guess who's second?
Probably Joe Ingles.
Yeah, Joe Ingles. They have 2 guys in the running for Sixth Man of the Year.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
But yeah, Donovan's mistakes get covered up because of how good Utah is. But most players who play on good teams are like that. But I think Donovan's taking 24 shots a game right now, which is insane. And he's only shooting 42% from the field. Jaylen Brown, I have below Donovan Mitchell. Okay. I have him slightly below because of how less offensively. Or his offensive prowess isn't as high as Donovan Mitchell's, but I have him right below. It's interchangeable for me, honestly, because of what Jaylen brings defensively. Because Jaylen is so good defensively, and he's made a massive jump this year.
Huge jump.
27, Drew Holiday. Again, yeah, I get he's on the older side, but I'm a big two-way guy, and Drew Holiday's been massive for the Bucks. He's been their biggest improvement, obviously. He's helped so much with their perimeter defense. I think the Bucks are probably the worst matchup for the Nets and the Sixers in the playoffs because of Drew Holiday.
I'd say for the Nets, maybe not as much as Sixers.
28, Karl Anthony Towns. Yes, he's the most offensively talented big we probably ever seen in terms of shooting the ball.
Just doesn't play, bro.
But one, he doesn't play a lot. Two, when he does play, it's not like the Timberwolves are much better.
Mm-mm.
Like
they're still losing. Like even when he's on the court, they still lose.
And then 30 Jamal Murray, or 29 Jamal Murray. Sorry, Jamal Murray didn't make the jump that I expected him to, but still made a big enough jump to be considered top 30 for me.
I'd say he went backwards, in my opinion. I feared him more in that series against Portland than, aside from that little stint with the bubble. Like, anything I've seen from him this season was nothing was more impressive than 2 years ago.
Well, I think he made the jump. He made a bit of a jump. I think before he got hurt. Rest up, by the way. Torn ACL is not something you can play with.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I think he was averaging like 22, 5, and 6, which is really good, especially considering who he's playing with.
I'm glad are going up. That's good to see.
Because he's really good in the pick and roll. That Nuggets offense is all passing cuts, so it's easy to get dump downs. But he did make a good enough jump to be considered top 30 for me. And then Ja Morant, who's someone who would be way higher if a lot of these guys didn't make offensive jumps. Because Ja Morant's been playing really well.
If he was averaging like 21, he'd probably be higher.
I think he's averaging like 20 or 19, 3, and like 9 or something like that. Which is still really good, but like it's not enough. It's not enough to be considered better than the guys ahead of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my 21 through 30.
Mine's low-key a lot different.
If I see CJ McCollum in that list, I'm going to be hacked off.
I got Donovan Mitchell at 21.
That's fair.
Trae Young, 22. Russell Westbrook, 23. Bam Adebayo, 24. Going back to the Russ thing, like we were just talking about, he's like 25 triple-doubles this season.
Yeah.
Like, that's way in front of the pack. So, like, yeah, he's on a bad team, so he doesn't really get media exposure anymore, but he's still good. And this is I hate the dude.
Yeah.
I hate him. But he's still a good basketball player. So, yeah, I got him at 23. 24, Bam. 25, Brandon Ingram. 26, Jaylen Brown. 27, Julius Randle.
That's fair. Julius has made a really good jump this season.
28, Zach LaVine. 29, Jamal Murray. And 30 is CJ McCollum, baby. Let's go. At least he wasn't like 22. Because I feel like that would piss you off a lot more.
Well, CJ's not better than Shea, and it's not even close.
I disagree. Before he got hurt, he was averaging 27 and 6.
And the Blazers were
good,
as average as possible. Before he went down, y'all had only 3 more wins than losses.
It was early in the season. At the same time, the Suns were like 11-8.
When CJ got hurt, the Blazers went on like a 13-3 run.
I'm so glad you said this because I have been saying from the start the Blazers should have traded CJ and kept Gary Trent. Because Gary Trent starting, their record was great.
Yeah, well, I thought so too.
And they were just like, meh. We're loyal around here because Dame says so. Dame wants his buddy to stay, so we're going to keep him. But
all right, so name all the people ahead of CJ. Or that CJ's ahead of.
You just want me to go through the rest of my list?
Yeah, fuck it. Go through the rest of your list because I'm going to tell you who CJ's not better than.
31, Rudy Gobert. I really wanted to put him at like 50. But
he's not better than Rudy Gobert.
Offensively, he's a mile ahead. Defensively, what do you expect?
He's 3 miles behind.
Okay, he's not 7 feet tall. He's not 7 foot.
Doesn't matter.
32, Ja Morant.
He's not better than
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Oh, I made a mistake, by the way. 30 was Russell Westbrook. 31 was Ja Morant.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
He is better than Ja Morant.
No, he's not.
Maybe a year from now, no. But right now, yes. After tonight, I don't know. Because tonight opened my eyes a little bit. 33, Chris Middleton. You do not
He's
say
better
it.
than Chris
Oh my
Middleton.
god, I'm gonna whoop this dude's ass, bro. He's not. He is way better than Chris Middleton.
No, he's not.
Bro, Chris Middleton
was 50,
Chris
40, 90
Middleton
last
looks
year
like-
and
bro.
plays really good perimeter defense.
Okay, he's a better defender. That's
and way
it.
more efficient.
It's easy to be efficient when you got a 7-foot freight train going to the basket
Yeah,
every
but it's
possession.
also not easy to be 50, 40, 90. And Chris Middleton was 50, 40, 90.
Malcolm Brogdon was 50, 40, 90.
Yeah, but not on the amount of production that Chris Middleton was shooting from.
I disagree.
CJ's not
Chris
good.
Middleton looks like a 70-year-old grandpa playing. You know that dude at the Keller Point?
Averages
That old
21,
dude?
7, and 7. Or 21, 6, and 6.
I don't care. I don't
CJ's
like
averaging
him.
like 24, 3, and 5.
Great numbers.
Yeah, and they don't translate to anything. I would argue that his production when he's playing hurts Portland more than him having a bad game.
Maybe not than him having a bad game, but I definitely noticed the liability he is after he was gone and came back.
If you switch Chris Middleton and CJ McCollum, Portland's better.
Moving on. 30. I have Karl Anthony Towns, 34.
He's not better than Cat.
Obviously, Cat would be in the top 15 if he was Cat, but he's not anymore. At least from what we've seen.
Oh yeah, I forget you're going off this season. All right, I forgot you were going off this season. So
If I go off of the past 4 seasons, he'd still be...
Absolutely not, because Cat was like first team All NBA 2 seasons ago. But name off, because I forgot you were doing this by current season. So go ahead and list who ahead CJ was ahead of again.
Rudy Gobert,
Nope.
Ja Morant.
Nope.
You already said no. Can I just keep
I'm
going?
I'm just clarifying.
Chris Middleton. Yep.
Nope.
Yep. Karl Anthony Towns. Yep.
Yeah.
Shea, 35.
Hell no. Hell no.
Okay, I'll give you this. I'll give you this.
Mm-hmm.
If the Blazers traded CJ for Shea, I would low-key be very happy about that.
And I would kill myself.
More
the thing
offense.
is, I really like CJ. I just think that CJ's playstyle is so out of date.
I wouldn't
it's
say out
awesome-
of date.
it's
It's
awesome
just he
that
needs
he's-
to be the guy on his
It's
team.
awesome that he's like a mid-range specialist. But like
That's also
his-
fourth in the league in three-pointers made a game.
yeah. But that's not like I don't know. His like the way like watching him play, like I feel he would kill in like the early 2000s.
Oh, he'd be like top 5 in the league back then.
But
He'd be ridiculous.
like right now, the way the game's headed, where everybody's focused on like transition buckets and threes and getting to the hole, like that's like what I call CJ McCollum Mr. Cone work
I see
because
why
he
you
just
say
plays
that.
exactly like there's cones in front of him.
I see why you say that.
Like him and Jaylen Brown do moves that I can only personify as like shit you see in like YouTube workout videos.
Yeah. Or like dribble too much on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Which you'd be surprised how many people use his moves. Or like they train with him and then
Yeah.
like use his stuff.
Yeah, but not Shay's. Baby
Honestly,
CJ.
I'm finna just finish my list and just hear you say that they're all better than CJ, and I'm gonna be pissed.
They might be.
De'Aaron Fox, 36.
He's not better than CJ. Or CJ's not better than him. But it is arguably interchangeable. I have
De'Aaron
CJ.
Fox is having his career year.
I have
so I can't
CJ.
argue.
I have CJ at 37 and De'Aaron Fox at 36.
Okay. I have Drew Holiday at 37.
There's no way that you think CJ McCollum's better than Drew Holiday.
I do not.
I'm glad you came to that realization just now.
I love Drew Holiday, so I'm not even gonna talk about that. I agree with you. 38, Nikola Vucevic. CJ is better.
I would say CJ's better than
Thank
Vucevic.
you. 39, DeMontis Sabonis.
Yeah, I would say he's better than DeMontis.
Well, now we're at the latter half, so you're
Mhm.
probably going to agree for most of these.
I don't know, you might throw a wild one out here.
40, Tobias Harris.
might give a slight edge to CJ.
41, DeMar DeRozan.
I don't know, dude. DeMar's averaging like 24, 4, and 7. And the Spurs should not be competent.
The Spurs suck. They're bad.
They're the 8 seed.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
But they have nobody, though. It's him and DeJounte Murray.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like,
so if you
switch
CJ and DeMar, are they in the same place?
Well, I don't
so.
think CJ fits Greg Popovich's system. Because Greg Popovich is all about ball movement and getting your guys open, and CJ's a heavily ISO player.
Proving my point. But
how is that proven? There's just certain players work in certain environments.
I'll give a slight edge to CJ right there.
42, Christian Wood.
Yeah, CJ's better than Christian.
Who, by the way, was having a great year until he got hurt. Like,
yeah.
he was playing amazing. I thought he was going to be most improved, but
now it's
just kind of went another route. I disagree with that, too. We'll get to that, though.
Wait, time out.
No, we got
right,
time for that later. 43, Fred VanVleet.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I was looking at your list, and you still had Kyle Lowry above him.
Above Fred VanVleet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
What?
Kyle Lowry is so washed now.
Oh, my.
He's so bad now.
You don't value Kyle Lowry, and that's a shame.
I don't. At all. I think he turned up
shame.
in that finals, but, like, besides that, he's a very mediocre...
He's the best Raptor of all time.
Well, yeah, the Raptors have only been around since, like, what, 98?
1998. Yeah, I think you're right. Wait, what's this year? 21?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, they just had their 20... So they've been around since 97. 96.
Still, though. That's less than 30
years.
years of a franchise, and they really haven't had much success in their years. Like, who's their top 5? Chris Bosh,
Kyle Lowry,
Vince Carter, Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan. Who's 5? Tracy McGrady only played there for like 2 years.
Yeah, okay, so I would go Kyle Lowry 1, Vince Carter 2. You have to put Kawhi at 3 because he got them a ring.
Kawhi's 5. There you go. Even though it was only 1 year,
not Pascal Siakam.
No, Chris Bosh.
Not Pascal Siakam.
Chris Bosh.
Not Pascal Siakam. I'm so out on Pascal Siakam.
So you're just not going to acknowledge how good Chris Bosh was there?
No, I'm saying 3 and Pascal's not even close to on the list.
No, Pascal Siakam's not.
I'm out on Pascal.
He's 47 on my list.
He's 49 on mine.
Yeah, see, like we don't believe in Spicy P. Like, what kind of name is that, anyways?
I sold Spicy P stock a while ago.
All right, 44, Gordon Hayward. Which I love him on the Hornets.
I'd say CJ's better.
He turned into old Gordon Hayward, so I'm not even going to take away from him. 45, Kemba Walker.
Yeah, I'd say CJ's better. I don't even think I have Kemba on my list.
You didn't, I looked. 46, Colin Sexton.
I don't have Colin Sexton on my list.
47, Pascal. 48, Malcolm Brogdon. 49, Kyle Lowry. And 50, it was 50, bro. I had to do it. Enes Kanter. Bro, he just had 24 and 30.
Is Enes Kanter better than Terry Rozier?
Yes.
God, no.
He's the best offensive rebounder I have ever seen in my life.
Shits on Enes Kanter 10 times out of 10. Is Enes Kanter better than Draymond Green? Absolutely not.
Arguable.
What?
The triple single? You think I'm worried about Mr. Triple Single?
Who is the captain of your defense, which Enes doesn't play. Enes is the worst defensive rebounder for somebody who's so good at rebounding the ball offensively.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give it to Draymond. Okay, listen. There's plenty of players I would put at 50 over Enes, but strictly because you put Shea at 21, I was like, all right, I got to throw Enes in there somewhere.
That's fair. All right, where did I leave off?
We were at 30.
Yeah.
So 31
okay, so like 50. I said earlier, I made a mistake. I said John Morant was 30. He's not. Russell Westbrook is 30. 31 is John Morant. 32 is Julius Randle. 33, Chris Middleton. 34, Brandon Ingram. 35, Rudy Gobert. 36. Did you have Brandon Ingram on your list?
I had him at 25.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
35, Rudy Gobert. 36, De'Aaron Fox. 37, C.J. McCollum. 38, Kyle Lowry. 39, Nikola Vucevic. 40, Tobias Harris. 41, Domantas Sabonis. 42, Lonzo Ball. I'm sick and tired of the Lonzo disrespect. You're
This man
goddamn
has
right.
Lonzo
You're
on his
goddamn.
list?
You're goddamn right. Lonzo's sitting at 42. You're goddamn right. He is.
Yeah, maybe like
Because when he turns up,
At
he's
the
one of the best
YMCA.
perimeter defenders at the guard position. He's shooting the three at a 40% clip.
couldn't stop Dame.
Okay, who's stopping Dame this season? Aside from Lou Dort.
Lou Dort didn't stop him either.
No?
He destroyed y'all in the last 5 minutes of that game. He had like 4 threes back to back to back to back.
Yeah. One on Lou Dort. When Lou Dort was guarding
And Lou
him.
Dort was all over it, and he is still nothing. He
Doesn't
was this close to his face.
you rather-
Net.
That's
Net.
like saying I'm not taking away from the shot, which was still great defense. He defended Dame as best as he could. And when Lou is guarding Dame, Dame shoots 37% from the field. That's facts. You can check Basketball Reference. I know my Lou numbers. I'm the biggest Lou Dort fan on planet Earth, dude.
Really, how do you pronounce his first name?
Lugans.
It's Lou Gwentz.
It's not Gwentz.
It's Lou Gwentz.
No, it's not Gwentz.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's Lugans Dort.
Lou Gwentz Dort.
There's no... It's a UE. That doesn't equal W.
Bro, I heard this ESPN dude that was like Luguience. And I was like, bro, this is your job. I'm sitting in my room and I know.
It's Lou G. Basically, it would be spelled L-U-E.
So UE doesn't make a W sound?
It's Lou Gentz.
Luguentz.
It's Lou Gentz Dort.
Guentz. UE. Guentz. Are you looking up how he says his name?
Pronunciation. Lou Gentz Dort.
I want you to find a...
G-H-E-N-T-Z.
I want you to find a video of him saying his name. We can do that later, though. For now, he's right. It says in Basketball Reference, which is apparently...
That not the end-all be-all for basketball right now?
Irrefutable.
It's irrefutable evidence.
Irrefutable. My fault.
Yeah, 42, Lonzo Ball. Sick of the Lonzo disrespect. I'm tired of it. I've been riding with Lonzo since his rookie year. Always thought that he was in a bad situation. Now when he's in a good situation... Huh?
His brother's better.
His brother's not better.
His brother's better.
He will be, but he's not right now.
He's already better.
Christ. 43, Gordon Hayward. 44, DeMar DeRozan. 45, LaMelo Ball. That's right.
So he's better.
No.
Lonzo wasn't on a top 50 list his rookie year.
No, he wasn't. I'm saying at this current moment, Lonzo's better. But it's like by this much, and I think LaMelo will be better. But LaMelo is making his debut at number 45 because LaMelo completely changed the Hornets culture. Anyway. 46,
Really did,
46, Draymond Green. 47, Fred VanVleet. 48, Christian Wood. 49, Pascal Siakam. And 50, Terry Rozier. And you're goddamn right Terry Rozier's on my list. Because you don't
Great
not
player.
be on my list because he's averaging 24, like 5, 3, and almost like, I think he's averaging like 48 from the field, 42 from 3 on 7 attempts a game, and like 86% from the line. So shout out to Terry Rozier.
Let me ask you this though.
Should be an MIP.
Would Devontae Graham be on your list last year?
No.
Even being the top candidate for winning Most Improved and not winning it?
No. He should have won MIP, but
He wouldn't be on your top 50? Because I feel like Terry Rozier is having a similar situation as Devontae Graham had last year, and he's just having a good year, and then it's going to go back.
Yeah, but Devontae Graham was doing it because he was the only person outside of Terry taking shots. Devontae Graham shot like 38%.
That's fair.
He shot like
That's
38%
fair.
from the field last year.
I can't argue that because the Hornets were bad last year, so I can't really argue that.
But, yeah, that's my top 50. Argue with your mom. If your favorite player missed the list, he missed it for a good reason.
Like Enes Kanter making it at 50.
That's just a disgrace to a couple of other guys because Enes Kanter's not better than Jared Allen.
In what world?
He's not.
In what world?
He's not better than Jared Allen.
Yes, he is. Just because Jared Allen blocked LeBron James one time.
It's not about blocking LeBron.
Bro.
Enes Kanter thought he could punk LeBron and couldn't.
Okay, well, Enes Kanter's from Turkey. He's not...
Imagine being
he's
from
not
Turkey.
A 7-foot
Imagine
black
being
dude.
from Turkey and thinking you're as good as Jared Allen.
He's better than Jared Allen.
No, he's not.
Bro, when Jared Allen gets 20 rebounds, shoot me a text. Let alone 30. And it's got 30.
Devin Booker's has the season high for anybody this year. His career high is higher than everybody in the leagues right now. Does that make him the best scorer in the league?
I'm not saying Ennis is the best rebounder in the league. I'm just saying he's better than Jared Allen.
No, he doesn't. Or no, he's not.
Yes,
Because
oh my
Jared Allen almost
this man
puts
just trying
up,
to make us argue, man.
Jared Allen almost puts up the amount of offensive production and plays 10 times better defense. Enes can't spell defense. I think Jared Allen's averaging like 14 and 9 right now, offensively, and Enes is averaging like 10 and 10 probably.
He's
13
averaging
and 10.
12 and 12. Let's see. He's averaging 13, 10, and 1.7 on 63. He has a 3-point percentage? Does he shoot threes? Or is that like a 1-for-1 type thing?
That's probably like a 3 for 7 from the field type deal.
Okay, well, he's shooting 63% from the floor. That's low-key pretty impressive. What is Ennis shooting? Okay, they're about the same player.
Offensively.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because Enes doesn't play
Jared
defense.
Allen is... His peak is like Ed Davis's peak.
His defense at the rim is top 5 at his position. Rudy, Miles Turner, that's about all I can think of.
Bam's
That's
better
than him at the rim. Who?
Bam.
At the rim?
I would say so.
I don't think it.
Like maybe not in the restricted area.
I'm talking about
in
defending
the paint.
I'm talking about defending the rim. Bam can't be better. He's 6'9".
But he jumps out the gym.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know, bro. That was a very disrespectful
All I
comment.
know is Jared Allen is definitely better than Enes Kanter.
Yeah, when he
Andre Drummond's better than Enes Kanter.
Okay, Andre Drummond's the best rebounder in the past 12 years.
Clint Capella's better than Enes Kanter.
No. So you're just naming every center that plays better defense. Enes Kanter is one of the worst defenders in the league at the center position.
Uh-huh.
So you're just gonna name every? No, I'm not.
He's one of the worst defenders at his
okay,
position.
so is Chris Dunn? Is Chris Dunn better than Trae Young?
No.
But he's a better defender.
Because he doesn't.
He's a way better defender.
Because he doesn't put up the same amount offensively. Clint Capella's averaging 15 and 15.
Jared Allen's not getting 30 rebounds.
It doesn't matter if he's getting 30 rebounds.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
That's a franchise record.
Because if Chris Dunn put up a 45-point game, that doesn't automatically make you a better scorer than Trae Young. It's a cumulative thing. Enes Kanter has these high number rebounds average in a game because he has these spurts of games where we have a 20-board game or a 30-board game or a 25-board game. I'm not saying that Enes Kanter is not a great rebounder, because if this is a rebound discussion, then Enes Kanter is at the top of the list. What I'm telling you is that Clint Capella, Jared Allen, fucking Miles Turner are all putting up almost, if
Miles
not better.
Turner is better than Enes Kanter.
Okay. If not better to similar offensive production while providing way more for you defensively. Would you rather have a guy who can get you 30 boards but doesn't play defense, or a guy who can get you 20 boards and plays way better defense?
20.
Yeah.
Bro. Jared Allen is not better.
It's okay to admit it.
Not.
You would rather have... Okay, who's starting at the 5 for the
Enes
Blazers
Kanter
right now? Yusuf?
Mm-hmm.
You would rather have Jared Allen, or Enes Kanter coming off the bench at your center position, than Jared Allen? or Clint Capella.
Ennis Cancer got us to the conference finals, so I'm taking Ennis.
He definitely didn't get you to the conference finals. He was a part of that team. Dame got you to the conference finals.
Bro, when I have
That's like
conversations
saying
on Twitter,
that's
they're
like saying-
"Oh, CJ carried Dame."
That's like saying
what?
that's like saying Rodney Hood got the Cavs to the finals because he
He
played.
did.
Okay.
My boy Rodney. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm just fucking around.
Enes Kanter is not better than Jared Allen. Not better than Clint Capella. Not better than Andre Drummond. Not better.
I didn't say he was better than anyone but Jared Allen.
Not better than Miles Turner.
No, I agree. Miles Turner's averaging 3.5 blocks.
Him and Cody Zeller are the same tier.
Okay. Good night, everybody. I'm going to go beat this man's ass in the parking lot.
That's a fair comparison.
Bro, Cody Zeller?
He's the same tier guy, yeah.
He looks like a plumber. Bro, Cody Zeller has never in his life been as good as Enes Kanter. Nine and 7, 54%.
That's
That's
almost
no, that's not even close to the same. 12 and 12 on 60% is not
Let's
the
FaceTime
same.
Isaiah and ask him.
Oh my god!
I hope he
Shout
picks
out
up.
Isaiah. We wish he could have been on today, by the way, but he was busy.
Let's hope he picks up. Because he's probably not gonna.
Probably not.
Oh, yes! Isaiah's not answering the phone. Who's somebody we know who talks basketball?
Man.
I'm going to FaceTime my friend Alec. Let's ask him.
Keep it strictly Jared Allen and his Cantor.
I'm throwing Cody Zeller in the mix, too.
Oh my god. That helps my case more.
It's National Don't Answer Casey Day, huh? Let's see.
This is why we make a podcast. We don't have friends.
yeah. We're starving for attention. Let's FaceTime my barber.
Oh god. His takes on Twitter be interesting. They be interesting sometimes.
He's probably asleep. He goes to bed at like 10. I respect it, though, because I need to start doing that.
All right, well, if he don't answer, give up. We'll just have to agree to disagree.
All right, bro. I need you to answer a
Yes,
question.
sir. Huh?
I'm live on the pod right now.
Okay.
I'm sitting here with a Blazers fan.
Okay.
Who's better? Enes Kanter or Jared Allen?
That's not even a question, bro.
So who's better?
Jared Allen.
Thank you.
Bro,
Who's better?
They planned this,
I didn't
bro.
plan this. I swear to God.
They talked about this beforehand.
I promise this was not playing. You don't never FaceTime me.
Look. Would you say Cody Zeller and Enes Kanter are the same tier of guy?
Absolutely.
No, Cody Zeller would never even sniff 30 rebounds.
Thank you.
Ever.
Okay, but he did that once.
Okay, he's still... Bro,
Everybody-
Cody Zeller is garbage. No.
Thank you very much.
I'm done.
Oh my
No.
gosh. We'll get Cameron on the pod soon. I told you.
No, if we get him on the
Enes Kanter's not
podcast,
that
it's going to
good.
be me defending myself against both of y'all the whole time.
Enes Kanter's
Unless we talk
not
about
as good
LeBron.
as Jared Allen. Or Cody and Zeller are the same dude.
No, he's not, bro. Cody Zeller sucks.
Oh my god. I can't believe we're talking about Enes Kanter like that. That's crazy.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't know why y'all talking about
if
like
my
that.
squad
Oh, no.
if my squad
Jared
were to
Allen,
sign
obviously.
Cody Zeller,
He's
I
a
would
dog.
want to shoot myself. If my squad wanted to sign Enes Kanter, which they did, I'm cool with it.
So you would rather have Jared Allen, or you would rather have Enes Kanter be your center off the bench than Jared Allen?
I'm done with this conversation, bro.
I win. All right, brother. Thank you very, thank you,
The conversation's over.
thank you very much. We'll get you on the pod soon.
I bet.
All right, be safe, brother.
All right, we gotta wrap this up before we just keep arguing, bro.
Point proven. All right, let's get into the early season predictions. Let's start with MVP. As of right now, I would say that the MVP is Jokic. But if the Nuggets drop off because of Jamal Murray's lack of play, I would say that Dame is the favorite.
I think it's Jokic's award to lose. But for some reason, people still try to disrespect Dame.
That's never going to not happen.
I know. I don't know why. Like, I looked at Basketball Reference earlier just to see their MVP tracker,
Yeah.
which I look at NBA.com's more. But they had Dame at 9. They had Kyrie Irving at 5.
Yeah.
Like, on what logic do you have Kyrie even in the conversation?
Giannis is making a decent push. They're not going to give it to him. I don't think he's the MVP, but he is making.
He's not Larry Bird. He's not going to win 3 in a row.
He's making a decent push. But yeah, right now I would say it's probably Jokic at 1, Dame at 2, and Jordan Clarkson at 3.
For MVP.
No, just kidding.
This man's trying to make me fight somebody. Like, bro.
Jordan Clarkson's so fun to watch. Tulsa made, baby. Jordan Clarkson, if you're
Really?
watching.
I didn't know that.
He went to Tulsa for 2 years. Jordan Clarkson, if you're watching, you don't remember me, but when I was a kid, you and me had a dance battle at the Tulsa scrimmage. You're not going to remember that, but you might. And we also had a shootout, and I helped your team win versus the other kids. So I'm the reason that you got that massive contract because I propelled you to the next level.
What he said. I probably got him beat at 3, even though he's missed 17 games.
I probably have James Harden at 3.
I have him at 4, so that's, yeah.
Defensive Player of the Year. Mine is Ben Simmons. Then it's Rudy Gobert. And then, yes, my Thunder bias is coming in, but it's Lou Dort. And maybe that's a little bit of Thunder bias, but hear me out.
A little bit.
Lou Dort has been tremendous defensively. And it's stuff that doesn't show up in the numbers, which
I agree.
To me
he's a great defender.
Which to me is defense is something that can never really truly be measured because you can't measure amount of possessions where someone got clamped up.
Like if they're not getting a steal, a block, deflection. Something
that he is leading the league in is drawn offensive fouls. Lead the league in
that's just because Ersan Ilyasova not getting minutes no more. Because that man used to get charge after charge after charge.
Yeah, he perfected it. But he's also not a good defender. He was just good at taking charges.
Yeah.
Lou Dort has made game-winning defensive plays, game-winning, he's just so good defensively. And yeah, maybe there's a little bit of bias, whatever. But watch a Thunder game. It's not people.
He's actually very fun to watch.
When Lou Dort checks into the game, and the opposing player, who's the best offensive player on the floor, sees that, they are like, oh, "Fuck me! This is not going to be fun."
I promise they're more scared of Drew Holiday.
Not in a. I wouldn't say so. Not right now. Maybe a prime Drew Holiday, but Drew Holiday. They're different defenders. Lou Dort's very aggressive on the perimeter. He's kind of I would say a Tasmanian devil on defense. He just feels like he's all over the place, and he's so physical. You can't really get by him. Drew is a really intelligent defender.
Yeah, you're not setting screens on him.
Yeah, he's really good.
You're not getting a bounce pass into the lane against him.
Yeah, he's really good with his hands. He's good at dodging picks. He knows he can dissect plays before they happen. Mm-hmm. Lou's more instinctual, but he's 2 years into the league, so that the intelligence will come. But yeah, so I would say it's Ben Simmons, Rudy, and then Lou. And T.J. McConnell at 4. Put some respect on T.J. McConnell's name.
T.J. nice.
T.J. McConnell fan club. Jersey coming soon.
I have Ben Simmons winning it, but if we're being realistic, I really think Gobert is going to end up winning it.
Yeah, I think...
because people suck his nuts for some reason.
I think if the Sixers end up with the best record in the East, then it's going to be hard not to give Ben Simmons the award.
It's just bro, that man...
Because Rudy Gobert doesn't affect, because it's weird. Defensive Player of the Year is weird because offense affects defense. How good you are offensively affects how good you are defensively.
Well, the thing I think with Rudy is if you put him on Steph Curry, he's going to be spinning in circles like that one time,
Yeah.
stumbling on the ground.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons can hold his own.
That's what the problem why I can't give it to Rudy is because of how you can attack him in the pick and roll.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Simmons is so versatile everywhere.
He doesn't
really have
on
a
the defensive end.
weakness.
He does not have
Yeah.
a weakness at all.
Sometimes, I mean, obviously, every great defender sometimes gets caught ball watching or goes for a steal that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just nitpicking. Nobody's perfect. Gary Payton did that, and he's one of the best, if not the best, guard defender of all time.
I think he's the best. Talking point guard,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the best. But most improved player, I have Jeremy Grant. I think I heard you say Julius Randle for you.
Mm-hmm.
I put in parentheses Michael Porter Jr. and Julius Randle because I think it's them three and nobody else.
MPJ's been on a tear recently.
Mm-hmm.
He's been hooping.
He just needs to learn how to play defense.
Yeah, me and Cameron were having that discussion the other day. If he just didn't make such boneheaded mistakes defensively, he'd be so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could be like a 20 and 10 guy. He's actually a really, really good rebounder.
He's not going to give you many assists, but you don't really need that at a small forward.
I just asked my friend who was better.
Bro, we have moved on. We are in another discussion.
Who's better, Enes Kanter or Jared Allen? I think Allen does more defensively and just about the same offensively. Give me Jared.
Okay, well, anyways, I think it's Jeremy Grant just because he's made the bigger jump. The only thing with Julius Randle is it might not show up on the stat comparison from last year, but he's their main playmaker.
It's like his numbers now have more of an impact on what they do as a team.
And they're winning.
Yeah. That's why I can't give it to Jeremy, because the Pistons are worse than the Thunder.
I would say few teams are worse than the Thunder.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, there's a few teams that are worse. The Thunder should be the worst team in the league. Let's just get that out there.
They should be.
But they're not.
But I think it's because other teams are committed to the tanking, and the Thunder in the West, and it's like, okay, we got to be competitive.
Yeah, but like the
still.
Pistons should have more wins in the East than the Thunder do, comparably having 21 wins in the West. I would say. Because
it's hard to say.
The East on the lower end is so bad.
It's very bad. After the top three, it's really...
Yeah, it gets real watery.
It drops off. But the West, probably up to 8, is all great teams. But, yeah, I mean, if Julius Randle got it, I really wouldn't be surprised.
I had Julius Randle, Shea, and Jeremy in my top 3. But Shea hasn't played in like...
Yeah, I think Shea's missed too many games.
10, 15 games, so... He's automatically out of it.
I think we can agree, sixth man, Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, that's not even close.
Yeah, I don't really think that's really a question. Rookie of the year, I have Anthony Edwards.
I have LaMelo. Still. I
wish it was LaMelo.
I'm looking at it from like...
Who's the best rookie this year?
Who would you rather have? Would you rather have LaMelo for the... What do you play? 35, 45 games?
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have LaMelo for those amount of games and what he did for that team, or Anthony Edwards for the amount of games that he plays and what he did for the Timberwolves?
Yeah,
That's why I still give it to LaMelo.
I agree. If it was me, I'd still give it to LaMelo. Just because, like, Anthony Edwards is good, but he's the exact opposite of what that Timberwolves team needs.
Yeah, I know.
They do not need another soft guy.
Yeah, no. Well, they don't need another scorer. They don't need another real athletic guy who can score the ball. I don't know why. They just drafted basically what Andrew Wiggins is now.
Exactly, bro. And, like, see how Andrew Wiggins worked out for them? Like, this is worse. Like, he might have a higher upside, if even.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
because I feel like Andrew Wiggins at his age was like
Anthony
the next
Edwards
LeBron.
wanted to lock in defensively,
he could.
He could.
But he doesn't care. He's just showing up like, oh, bet I'm in the NBA. Rap with me, Dame. I'm a better rapper than you. Who's A-Rod? I don't know who that is. That was funny. But it's just like he's not. He's the reason Jimmy Butler left, because he's the exact player that Jimmy Butler would want to fight at practice because he's not working hard.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just the last thing. Well,
Jimmy's got that thing where it's just that Kobe. Mm-hmm. That Mamba.
And I love it.
It's like
I love it.
You either work the same amount as me or you don't work at all. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want you here. Which I respect. That's what I would want building my team.
He's on the right team for that.
Yeah. My rookie of the year is LaMelo, who I think will win is Anthony Edwards because James Wiseman's been too inconsistent.
I really wish they would give it to Tyrese Halliburton, but he just kind of started slow.
Him and LaMelo have had the most positive impact on their team, I would say. Tyrese Halliburton's so good.
He just had a he just kind of started off a little slow.
He was perfect for the Kings.
Mm-hmm.
When they drafted him, I wasn't sure how he would fit in. But him being able to figure out how to play with De'Aaron,
it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, it's been extremely fun.
Coach of the year, I'm going to give it to Monty Williams.
Monty Williams, yeah.
Just because the Suns went from not even in the playoffs
or Tom Thibodeau. Because the Knicks shouldn't be this good.
It's really tough this year. Because I was thinking a couple weeks ago, I was thinking it could be Monty Williams, it could be Tom Thibodeau, it could be Steve Nash, it could be Doc Rivers.
For me, it's not Quinn Snyder anymore.
No.
Not because the Jazz aren't really good, but because the Jazz are insanely deep.
Yeah,
they didn't make the biggest jump.
No.
The Suns had 40 wins last year? I think they were 40 and 42. They barely missed the playoffs.
That sounds correct. It's in that ballpark, 3 or 4
For them to
games.
go to 40 and 42, that them arguably ending up as the 1 seed, just based on recent play, that's insane.
That's why I'm giving it to Monty.
Yeah, I would say it's going to Monty Williams.
My preseason prediction.
Plus, he's a really good coach.
Yeah.
It's not like he's just out there a part of the team. He's a really good coach.
My preseason pick was Doc Rivers, and I really think he's made a really strong case, but it's just not.
I think mine was either. I think I put Monty Williams in mine, but I think my main one was Lloyd Pierce, but he got fired. So.
Wasn't Monty Williams Chris Paul's coach?
In New Orleans.
Yeah. That's probably why they're winning so much.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably why they got that on lock.
Yeah.
They're friends now, or they've been friends. But yeah, that's crazy. I feel like if the Suns and Clippers play,
I think the Clippers don't want that matchup.
We'll get into this in the next episode. I really feel like if the Suns and Clippers play, that might be the most entertaining series of the whole playoffs.
The Suns are so fun to watch. Obviously, I'm really high on Devin Booker, but he Kobe Bryant for me is one of my favorites of all time. Just because he was the first guy when I was little that I really was able to comprehend while watching basketball. My first basketball game I ever remember comprehending was that 81 that he had against Toronto. It
really?
It was in I want to say it was late January of 2005.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong though.
I think the first one I could comprehend was, I want to say Game 6 of the Lakers-Celtics finals in 2008. But it could have been 2010.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I remember comprehending it if the game was on, I'm so tuned in, I know exactly what's going on. That's just when that was on the TV and my dad was going nuts. That's the first game that I remember seeing.
Yeah.
It being
and actually having a memory of the game, not just other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
But he was our generation's Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah.
Growing up,
he's the closest thing. He's the closest anyone will ever get to Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
LeBron is obviously up there as far as all time.
Yeah, if we're talking about status, but in terms of
the player,
yeah,
and the mentality, it's Kobe.
It's Kobe.
It's definitely Kobe.
But so seeing Devin Booker is just it's kind of, he reminds me, like I said earlier, of what Kobe would be today with less athleticism. I think that he has the potential to end up being more skilled than Kobe just because Kobe's athleticism allowed him to do a lot more than somebody who obviously doesn't have as much athleticism.
Yeah.
Not saying that he will, but Devin's not the great... Devin's, I would say, is a league average athlete.
Mm-hmm.
But Kobe in his prime was an above average athlete.
Oh, yeah.
But watching Devin Booker, his footwork, the way he works in the mid-range, the way he works out of the pick and roll, the way he works in the ISO is just if you squint a little bit, it's Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's not. Look, the Clippers have a lot of bad matchups. The Lakers are not a
Mhm.
good matchup for the Clippers.
Nope.
The Jazz are not a good matchup for the Clippers.
No.
The Suns are not a good matchup for the Clippers.
Even though they went 2-1 against
Yeah,
him, but I agree.
The Mavs are a terrible matchup for the Clippers.
The Mavs destroyed them this
Um,
year. Sheesh. They
I don't think there's a
killed
single matchup that the Clippers want in a 7-game series in the West.
them. I'd
The
say
Nuggets are a terrible matchup for
I'd
the
say
Clippers.
most ideal would
I would
be,
say I think the Clippers would beat the Nuggets in a series, but only because Jamal Murray's
yeah,
hurt.
but they'd be banged up afterwards.
Yeah.
I think that the most ideal for them would be to get a team in the play-in and it end up either being the Warriors or the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
I think that's their best bet.
And honestly, I think the Warriors could beat the Clippers. Just because of how insane Steph's been playing.
I don't know.
Because it's who's going to stop Steph?
I mean, they won't stop him, but they'll be able to contain him enough to win.
And the Warriors have have one of my favorite guys in the league right now. Juan Toscano-Anderson is like, he's
Is that the dude that just busted his face open yesterday?
Yeah, saving a ball from going out of bounds that
Yeah,
ended up being a
facts.
3-pointer. Yeah, that guy. He's something that every team needs.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Thunder have that
just
type
energy.
of guy.
Just energy,
The
bro.
Thunder have that type of guy in Kenrich Williams. The Blazers, I don't really think have that kind of guy.
I'd say Robert Covington.
Yeah, but Robert Covington is such a higher tier of player, though.
Oh,
Like,
you're
he's an
saying like
established
low.
guy.
You're saying like
Like,
kind of.
Like a guy
Under
that
the radar.
they come in the game and like you really appreciate the minutes that they're playing.
I think it was Zach Collins before he got hurt.
Yeah, I would say so.
He was a very high energy guy that didn't really get a lot of stats, but he was just everywhere.
Like Juan Toscano-Anderson, I think only averages like 6'4" and 2.
Mhm.
Like he's not putting up like crazy like stats.
No.
But the stuff he does is stuff that won't show up in the stat sheet. But yeah, and I think that it's all depending on how well Steph plays. Obviously, because that Warriors team wins as he goes, and sometimes they don't even win if he goes. But yeah, I think the Clippers' best. What are they right now? The 3 seed.
Yes.
So it's Jazz, Suns, Clippers, Nuggets,
Mm-hmm.
Lakers, Blazers,
Mm-hmm.
Mavs,
Mm-hmm.
Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
And the Spurs aren't moving up.
No.
So Clippers are 3. So that if we're talking about right now, the Clippers
They
would
play
get the
the
6
Blazers
seed.
right now.
That's not a favorable thing.
They would have to pray that Dame isn't playing good. And I feel like in the playoffs, after that series against New Orleans, I feel like in the playoffs he really dials in. Last year was just unfortunate. He
just got injured,
dislocated his finger and hurt his knee.
And
you got the Lakers.
I could have told you that was coming a mile away. Obviously, they weren't going to beat the Lakers, but
yeah, obviously.
he was beat to shit
I do think they had the best chance to beat the Lakers
as
out
a
of
lower seed. Yeah,
out of everyone in the West, because the Clippers.
I'm sorry. I'm just not sold on them. They may beat somebody, but in my eyes, I just can't do it because they should have lost to the Mavericks last year.
If they don't get the 1 seed, they're probably not even making the conference finals.
The refs fucked the Mavericks out of that series last year
Mm-hmm.
because Clippers won Game 1. Game 2.
So that one
Mavs
Luke got
won.
like 45.
Yeah, I think so. Game 2, Mavs won. Game 3, the Mavs were up like 17, and then they kicked KP out for like John at Marcus Morris. Why?
It's the playoffs.
And
bro.
then Marcus Morris
let him play.
tried to injure Luka. I think that was like a 6-game series, but yeah, Mavs should have won the series. Then obviously the next series that they lost to the Nuggets, and like that tells a lot. It's because it wasn't like how the Thunder lost in 7 against the Warriors down at 3-1. It wasn't like that. The Thunder lost those games. The Thunder hadn't really played tremendously in the first 5 games anyway.
No, they just kind of figured it out, and then the Warriors, they just had no answer.
The Warriors figured it out better.
Yeah.
And then Game 6 Clay, he's one of those like basketball tropes, like untucked Kyrie or like masked Braun or whatever.
Or Hoodie Mello.
Yeah, but like the way that those Clippers were losing, because they were up like plus 20 in each game at the half. You losing those games is terrible. There's no way you should lose a game in the playoffs when you're up 20 at a half.
No. Which the Blazers did 4 times against the Warriors in that conference finals.
Yeah.
They were up by 15 plus in every single game.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a different situation, though, because, and I hear this conversation a lot when it's about, like, Steph versus Dame. Is, oh, Steph outplayed him in a series. It's like, yes, that's true. But the Blazers have way more to worry about when they're playing the Warriors versus when
like
the Warriors play
have
the Blazers.
someone to guard Dame. The Blazers had nobody to guard Steph.
Yeah.
So.
Because, like, when you... Yes, Steph won the individual matchup statistically. But if you switch Dame and Steph... It's going to be the same story because the Blazers have more to worry about than just Dame, right? And it's like, or I hear KD didn't even play. It's like, it doesn't matter. The team before that without KD went 73-9.
Exactly.
And that Warriors team, I don't think people understand that team was like, that was a 12-man team. Like, that team was just absolutely stacked. But that's
their whole bench could have gotten quality minutes on another team.
Yeah. Like, that team was ridiculous. But that's a different conversation for a different day.
Yeah, if we keep talking, we're not going to have anything for our next episode.
So, I would say first team All-NBA predictions. You go ahead and go first. I might have to think about mine.
I'm going to be humble here and not put Dame in, even though I think he deserves it.
That's fair.
And I'm going to put Harden and... No, I'm putting Dame in there. I'm putting Dame and Harden, or Dame and Steph.
Yeah, I think it's going to end up being Dame, Steph, LeBron, Giannis, Jokic.
Yeah.
2 guards, 2 forwards.
Depending on how the Nuggets end up, because Embiid could take Jokic's spot.
Yeah.
Second team, Luka.
Yeah, Luka.
Probably Kyrie.
Yeah, I'd say
probably
Kyrie.
Well, it depends on who's first team. Because if it's Dame and Steph, Steph and Harden, Dame and Harden, whoever that third guy is moving down to second team. Yeah. So it'd probably be Luka.
If I have Steph and Dame sitting at 2 guards, it's going to be Luka, James,
probably Kawhi. Either Embiid or Jokic. And then for the 4 spot, probably...
It's another forward, right? So
it could be any kind of forward.
Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, Paul George, any one of those guys.
Yeah. And then third team, probably Kyrie.
Yeah, third team, Kyrie.
Trae Young, maybe. Maybe.
Paul George.
I think if the Hawks get the 4 seed, it's probably going to be Trae Young.
It's going to be hard to deny. Not because it's not like he's like the catalyst, the sole catalyst to winning, but just because his numbers are insane.
Yeah. Paul George. Probably Sabonis for third team.
Let me look at my top 50. Yeah, maybe.
And then Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert will definitely be a third team.
I don't see him moving up or losing that spot either.
No, I probably, you know what? For third team, I'll probably put Trae, Kyrie. Will we have second team Kyrie, or Kyrie was third team?
Third team.
So I'll probably put Kyrie, Devin Booker, or Bradley Beal, depending on whichever you want. They might throw Zion in there.
That would piss me off. I think he's a great player, but
voters might.
Yeah, that would make me so mad.
And then like Bam.
Yeah, I could see Bam being in there as the power forward, but I don't think he's touching Rudy.
Randle, just because.
Oh, true.
He's averaging like 23, 11, and 6.
That's very true.
First team all defense. I'd probably say.
This one's gonna be kind of hard for me. No cap.
I'd probably say, just off the top of the head, Ben Simmons.
Probably Marcus Smart.
He hasn't played enough, has he?
No idea.
I
I didn't
think
even
he's
know he
missed like
missed
25
games.
games.
I can guarantee you Robert Covington's going to be first team. Because he's
I doubt
first in the league in deflections, second in steals.
Yeah, I doubt it. They don't ever give Robert Covington respect.
That's not. They give him more respect than Drew Holiday. He was first team last year.
Robert Covington was first team all defense last year?
I'm pretty sure. Keep going.
They might actually give Drew respect this season because he's on a smaller market but bigger, more franchised team. I think last year was Ben Simmons, Marcus Smart, or no, maybe Marcus Smart was 2019 or 2018.
Oh, he wasn't.
Robert Covington was.
Yeah, I was wrong.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, it's gonna have to be Ben Simmons, Drew Holiday, Lou Dort.
He made first team in 2017.
It's hard though because a lot of great defenders now are positionless.
Mm-hmm. I think Covington will make a team. One of the two.
Draymond has to make a team. He's been really good defensively this year.
T.J. McConnell. Did you already say him?
He might make NBA second team for defense.
If it's between him and Drew Holiday, I gotta give it to Drew though.
Yeah, for sure.
Marcus Smart made first team last year. Not Patrick Beverley. I think people have figured out he's not a good defender.
He's not that good of a defender.
I think people have finally realized it.
He's
maybe Eric Bledsoe. He's
actually been really good.
He's been really good for the Pelicans.
Yeah, Patrick Beverley is one of those guys. It's just like what Russell Westbrook said. He barks a lot.
Just runs around.
Is on the camera a lot and makes people think he's good at defense. Yeah. I just had the basic guys. Ones are at the top of the league right now. Ben Simmons, Lou Dort, Drew Holiday, probably Giannis, Rudy Gobert. I can tell you that Enes Kanter won't make a defensive team.
It's pretty obvious.
Jared Allen might, legitimately.
I would bet you $10 right now Robert Covington will at least make second team.
What position is he? The 3? And the
4. They have him listed as 4 this year. But forwards, for those kinds of teams, it doesn't really matter. A forward's a forward. He's first in the league in deflections, and he's second in the league in steals.
Robert Covington's second in the league in steals?
I'm pretty sure. I know he's up there. I know he's at least, at the very bare minimum, top 5.
I'm going to put Tom Thibodeau in there just because he's made New York good at defense.
That was good.
Can I get an odds tracker, please? Fuck. Okay.
I'm not doing all rookie.
Yeah,
This episode's been like 2 hours. They can suck a fat one.
Clint Capella might make one probably.
He could.
Maybe Paul George. Bam.
I think they give it to Paul George every
Turner.
year just because.
Miles Turner, duh.
Oh, facts. I think he'll be second team though.
Miles Turner.
It made me mad too because a couple years ago, it was either a year ago or 2 years ago. People were saying how bad Miles Turner was on defense, and he was just a stretch 4, and I was like, bro, have you seen him play? Like, he's a great defender.
That's just like you don't watch basketball.
Yeah, they like it was during the trade talks over the summer.
Yeah, well, I mean, Miles Turner has not lived up to what he should be. Like, he's not the rebounder he should be. He's probably not the scorer he should be. He's not as efficient as he should be.
That could be the system, though.
His defense has never gone away.
Yeah, facts. That could be the system, though, because I feel like if they had either him or Sabonis, not both,
You know what's crazy?
he'd have a lot more rebounds.
Sometimes I check NBA players' ages. Zach LaVine's only 25.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know he was that young. There's a lot of guys in the league. They were
A lot.
like Justice Winslow.
He's like, what, 26,
like, yeah.
27?
It feels like he's been in the league since I was like 3.
There's a lot of people like that, to be honest. Who else is like that? Jamal Murray, kind of. Not as much, but...
He's like 23, I think.
Yeah.
24. Jokic is only 25,
Mm-hmm.
which is weird. Yusuf's not that old. He's only like 27.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys like that. That's just a weird time
It's just
thing.
because they get drafted at 19
so
years
early.
old. Like, think about it. Zach LaVine got drafted at probably 19. He's been in the league for 6
Yeah, I think
years.
he was the youngest player in his draft.
That wouldn't surprise me.
But yeah, it just feels like some of these guys have been in the league for
And it's gonna be
decade.
It's gonna be 3 years from now, and we're gonna be hearing about Obi Toppin's retirement because he's already 23. That's crazy. Like, being old really matters in the draft for basketball. Like, in football, they want you to be older.
Yeah.
But basketball, they're like, oh, you're 22.
Well, I mean, that's
nah.
probably the best part about football right now is being able to, or having to stay in post being a freshman and sophomore, because your body's not developed. If you go into the league taking those hits that they dish out at that age, that's gonna fuck you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
I think we can wrap this one up. We kind of gave y'all a sneak peek of what the next episode's gonna be.
A little bit of playoff talks. Again, thank you for the patience. If you watch this all the way through, thank you. This is probably a long one. We don't have a timer up here. We probably should just to see how long we go. But nonetheless,
it's been a while. We had a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we did have a lot to talk about. Like we said at the beginning, more big things coming soon. We're doing our best. We thank you for watching, for tuning in. We appreciate those who've asked questions about episodes coming out. Make sure to follow @Redeem Updates on Twitter. We're going to get back active on that. Get back active on Instagram. We're not going to make a Facebook because we're not 45.
No, we are not. We are young and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
To all my ladies out there. Not him. Me.
Him. I'm married.
He's married. I'm single, ready to mingle, so you know.
Yeah, basketball lady fans, get at him. @Megan at Overtime, get at him. Oh, man. I think that's it. I think that's all I got to say. Again, for the 43rd time, thank you. The patience is more than appreciated.
The long anticipated episodes will be worth it, though.
Yeah.
They will be worth it.
We're going to have a bit of a rebranding, a revamp. Let me know if y'all want hoodies or shirts or something like that.
Yeah, merch.
I can get that popping. But with all that being said, episode 8, I think. 8?
I can't remember. I think it's 8.
I think it is 8 because I think we left off at 7. Either way, episode 8. This is a wrap. We're losing count already.
We might have to split it into 2 episodes depending on how long it is.
Yeah.
But episode 8.
Episode 8.
Part 1, part 2.
Possibly. Thank you again for watching.
Thank you so much. We promise we will be making this a lot more often now.
Mm-hmm.
We had some things to figure out. The weather was kind of, seasonal stuff happens. COVID, personal things. Like, it just, stuff happens, But we're back. We're better than ever, and we're finna knock these out.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're gonna try to do like bi-weekly episodes. Just keep y'all up to date around sports. We're gonna expand more on different sports. I know it's been 99% basketball, but I want to get some football ones going. So if you're interested in talking to me about football, or talking to Drew about football, or talking to us about football, just tap in with me.
I might get some Formula 1 in here too.
Some racing. We can get some golf popping.
Yeah, we can do some golf.
We can talk about.
This is a golf thing right here. You already know we pros.
if I knew more about baseball, I'd talk about baseball. But if you want to
same.
work under us and talk about baseball, you're more than welcome to join the team.
We got a nifty little friend, Vincent Lopez, that knows all about baseball.
knows it
Y'all can
like
chat
the back
it
of
up.
his hand. Yeah, you and Vincent can chat it up, talk about whatever you want. With that being said, maybe we'll get into some life podcasts. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe we'll just sit up here and talk about life someday.
Which would be hilarious. I'm telling you that much.
It would be really funny. But, again, episode 8 has a wrap. Thank you very much.